Wealthy Witch. I'm so excited! It's a gathering! What's up, guys? Welcome to the Healthy Wealthy Witch blog. I'm Ashlee Ray. Now I'm here with Pryscilla Tapped In. I'm so excited about this. How you doing, Priscilla?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing.
We could be on here forever talking about any and everything, but I want to introduce I want to introduce the Healthy Wealthy Witch audience to you and just let them know a little bit about your background and how you got started and then why I have you here. So I just a little bit of background. I am in a village restructuring right now. And so I feel like a lot of people that are coming into my life, like they're people like you. They're people who are tapped in. And so I'm in this space right now where I'm meeting a lot of really, really gifted people, and you are one of them. And I just have had this thing, of course, I've had this thing calling out to me that I wanted to do here for the Healthy Wealthy Witch blog, which is a monthly channeling with a person who's real. Like, because one of the things that's important to me is, and we kind of touch on this, is just a lot of things that have been made taboo on purpose. I just want to give people the information, and if it resonates with you, great. But also, I understand that I might sound crazy to a lot of people, and if I do, then this is not for you, and that's fine too. But you are super talented, and I booked with you. I want people to know that, like, all the people who I invite onto this is because I either their content resonates with me or I've experienced them to know that they're the real deal. And for you, I can say 1,000%, my reading, you were so spot on. You were I have with my spirit team, my ancestral spirit team, you were able to tap and name. I know exactly who they are, and you just pulled them immediately. I know they always pull up a little too quick. But you pull them immediately, and I just want to let the people know how you got started. I'm always curious about. I'm pretty sure your journey has been learning. It didn't happen overnight. You didn't just wake up and experience this. Tell us a little bit how you got started. When did you know you had the gift, and how we've gotten here?
Thank you. I appreciate you a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Especially for like booking with me and seeing for yourself. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Um, but I'm Priscilla. I am tapped in. I am the owner of Tapped In Consciousness, and I am a psychic medium channeler. I see, hear, and feel, and I tap in. And I also make products for your essentials for your spiritual journey. Um, I would say my whole life has been spiritual, just in many different aspects and in different avenues. My first interaction with knowing that I had the gift was when I was around 6. And I started to see. I started to see entities, shadow figures. I would see things. And that's when I started to voice it more.
Was that
Um,
scary at first?
yeah, 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 because
This
there
is
was like a
because
difference.
I imagine Haley Joel Osment. I can't think of his name anymore. Kendrick Lamar killed that for me forever. But I see dead people. Like, is it that like
It
visceral
wasn't like
scariness?
that. It was more like, I could feel energy coming closer to me. I could hear like footsteps. And then when I would see it, it was more like shadow, and like I could just tell it was scary looking. I would
Yes.
say, yeah, it was scarier compared to like an imaginary friend that's a spirit, that
Right.
you're playing with. And
Right.
because I did have an imaginary friend when I was little that definitely was a spirit. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And my parents. So, my mom was very much spiritual in many different ways. She was trying to find her path probably most of her adult years, and teenage years. But I was raised Catholic most of my years. And like when I was younger, but was also very much open to the Afro-Cuban spiritual practices, and we were in misas, you know, we were just in the things, and my mother had an altar, and it
So
was
I
just
just for our
part of
audience, in
life.
case because this is going flowing so much better than the other one, I want to touch on something that we talked about before,
Yes,
which is
yes,
just because a lot of people will hear us talking about these different frameworks of spirituality, or they will hear us talking about channeling and divination, which people are taught are just. I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, where I have read the Ethiopian Bible, I have read the King James Bible, and I can tell you there's a reason why the King James Bible that was made, and it's more nefarious than people realize. Um,
so I mean, it's
so
literally to keep you.
Right. Right. Even the contributions, the most egregious thing to me is the contributions that they erase of women in the Bible and
Yes,
in religion as a whole. But it's on purpose, right? And like the idea that people even mean, part of my thing is the information has been diluted and or I don't want to say just diluted, and I don't want to use the information has been changed, and then some of it
changed,
has been
yeah,
vilified on purpose. And things like the fact that most Christians don't know that the technical term for one of the three wise men is actually a professional astrologer. One of
agreed,
them, right?
agreed.
One of them, that's their actual technical term for what his job was. They followed a star to get to baby
Yes,
Jesus. That's astrology. I don't know, like, but a lot of religious people or I run into this argument all the time, and I don't argue anymore because I realize while I think that my purpose is to give access to the information and let people to decide for themselves, I also realize that we're not all on the same spiritual journey. And everybody's not like, everyone has the access to be psychic. Everyone has the ability to be able to
yes,
do these things, but you will not be able to in this life because it's not your journey. Like, we're all not meant to meet that version of our consciousness. And so, with
agreed.
that, I no longer argue with people. So, moving back to I love that you said you grew up Catholic, but you also grew up with parents who were spiritually inclined in other ways. So tell us a little bit
In
about that.
so many ways, so many different ways. Like, I remember once that my mom had a shaman come to the house. She was
Ah,
doing feng shui. Like, it was always something
right.
different in a way. And, my mom has her own amazing story and like her own spiritual story. But like, it really stems from generations of,
Oh,
like you
okay.
said, being told one thing, right? And being shown one thing, but then your inner self is screaming at you that there's something else that you need to figure out and that you need
Right.
to realize is deeper. And my mom just always had that. And like, she wasn't raised by her biological mom.
Hmm.
So her mom had passed away when she was really
Wow.
young. And so it really shifted how she took on the world, how she,
Hmm.
took on religion, how she took on spirituality and all of it. And I think when you're trying to find your path, even myself,
I was
I
I was gonna
definitely
ask.
went through trying to find my own and like completely being like, I don't care what you've been showing me all my life, but that ain't for me, and I definitely went
I
through that
always
too.
say that people who have been where their lives have been geared towards this spiritual journey always are you usually grow up in the church. So they usually have the information. Like, I grew up Bible study, getting kicked out of Bible study for asking. I
Gosh.
I put in the book the question that I asked, but I didn't put like I paraphrased for because I didn't want people to hate me. But I asked it in a
And
but I asked it in a way. I was just very curious about, where Jesus, the period that Jesus was missing in the Bible. I thought it was just so insane that I couldn't ask, how don't you know that he didn't experience
girl,
sin?
I was being
Um,
sent to the priest
right,
because
you know?
I asked that question in regards to I used to go further back. I used to go further back and I wanted to know. I asked my religion teacher, why if Adam and Eve were really the first two people, why we not all retarded?
And like,
She just looked at me. She just looked at me and she said, Priscilla, I need you to go see Father Flanagan.
oh goodness, that's exactly how my kick out happened. Like, I just, no explanation. I would have loved an explanation though. Just
No,
getting kicked
I
out.
got one.
Really? What was the
So,
explanation?
when I look back at this, I'm so
I
grateful
never
that
got
I
explanations to my answer to my question, so go
oh,
ahead.
you wanna hear mine?
Yes.
The one that I got, because it shifted me. It shifted me, and I'm always grateful that he said what he did say. So I did have to go to the priest. And
Wow,
we're
okay.
sitting at the church. Yeah, because the church was right next to the school. And so
Okay.
literally, I was being taught by nuns, priests, like
This is like the
sitting
real
there.
Catholic experience, no
Oh,
bullshit.
extreme Catholic experience. And so then I was like, he was like, so I heard you have some questions. I said, yeah. If so, if Adam and Eve were the first, and he looked at me and he said, well, Priscilla, these are just the mysteries of the Bible. It
Okay, so
set me on my way to do 10 Hail
oh my
Marys, five Our Fathers, and that was it.
so it's literally the same pretty much the same answer I got, which is you're not allowed to ask questions. You know what's so
Right.
funny is that so like after I was kicked out of Bible study, my foster mother, I got toured for this, but I invited the Muslim man who was selling or panning out bean pies on Asher Avenue to my house, and I invited a Pentecostal preacher to my
Okay.
foster mother's house, and I just sat them down like, tell me about your religion. And so
I absolutely love it.
so I just, so I was curious, and one of my most favorite books, and one of the things that I became an atheist probably like for about, I would say it was probably for
Me
like,
too.
yeah, we all go through this. I feel like we all have the same journey through this, right? And the atheist journey came from one of my favorite books is Lamb by Christopher Moore. And I always encourage people to read that book because it
Yes.
humanizes Jesus in a way that's fun. Like it's because it explains the question that I always had. So in this book, he has his best friend Biff, right? And Biff travels with him through all the historical places and things that we see through the Bible, but with some twist. And the thing about it is, Biff goes with Jesus so that he can
Mhm.
experience sin in front of Jesus so Jesus can see without experiencing it. So he could know sin without touching it. And he humanizes Jesus in a way that still makes him the Messiah, though. Like it still respects everything about the theology. Um, but it's also some parts of the book are so silly. They're so silly that it allows room for thought. It allows room for question. It allows room for all those to be curious, which religion like totally just sometimes is against. So I say all that to say that like once I like freed myself of the belief that was poured into me, and then I started to
Mhm.
gather more information and really read books. I used to argue with this woman who not argue with her, but there's a Jehovah's Witness who would come by my house every Saturday, and I would sit out there and talk to her if I had nothing to do. This is in Brooklyn, and I would sit out there because the most beautiful thing about it is that I would say to her, so if there's only like 100,000 or so seats up in heaven, you don't think that maybe perhaps the list might be full? But her belief was so beautiful because no matter how I posed that question,
He
she knew she
had
was
the
getting
answer.
in. And so that's why for me it all and talking, that's why I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what you call God. So that's the question that has people hating Mamdani, even though he's the best mayor New Yorkers have ever seen. We have an entire war going on where babies are being slaughtered in the name of who calls God what. And so the name of what you call God is is one of the most divisive things on that man has created is what we name God. So I don't care about that. But belief is so beautiful and just so needed and necessary. And like you said, if humans didn't have God or religion or belief, then like we go crazy, right?
Yeah, I think that, and on a deeper level, I used to feel that way when I was little. And like now as I'm older, it's like, and it has a lot more to do with consciousness and
Yes.
just on a bigger scale of just what people are ready for, what they're not ready for, what we're really dealing with in the collective. Like, I know we said
Right.
this like off camera when we were having a conversation, and you were like, I just realized or found out that we have like 8,000 souls. And you were just like,
Yes.
so
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah. We
like,
are we gonna we can't do that. And we
so
have to
there's
do
just
a
a
separate
lot going
podcast.
on within the collective, I would say.
The
Um,
whole finding out that a lot of people are NPCs just here to like usher us on our journey made more
yeah,
sense to me. But then it also was just like, fuck, we're running
yeah,
around with like I could be living on an NPC, a soulless person.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? It's just like
yeah.
the idea of that is just so. But then it also makes humans make so much more sense to me that some of you are walking around with no souls and you're just here to usher humanity on as human ones or as soulful ones on to like our next space and journey.
To the
Makes so
different
yes.
sides to the collective,
Yes, I
for
love
sure.
that I initially wanted to, like, do this opening and see what it would be, and I realized it's like I love that we did this so that we can just unpack, number 1, the fact that people don't realize that, when you're talking to a channeler or these people, they will hear that you do that and will assume that you're this evil person who doesn't believe in God. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't think that the conversation would go here, but I'm so glad that it has because most of the people that I talk to who are readers or channelers or any in this spiritual space talk to God and have a great relationship or a closeness in spirituality that is bar to none. So I love
Shay.
that the conversation went this way, even if it wasn't where we were intending to go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to where we're supposed to be. The June forecast, right? This energy
Energy.
the energy for June is like, I'm very excited about July's energy. We can get into that at some point, or next month for that reading. We can talk a lot about it. But June's energy is literally that of like wrapping up anything that you started. We're in the middle of the Sagittarius moon is culminating right now at the beginning. So it's really, really zeroing in on communication and collective and doing things
Yes.
together. And then in the middle of the month, we have where our moon will be in Gemini. We'll have a new moon in Gemini, and that's just flirty, creative. It's a really
Yeah.
great time to anything that you started before. You'll get the communication to get it out. You'll get the people, the community to help you bring it forth. So that's
Right.
really great about that energy. And then at the end of the month, Cancer is going to be in Venus, so very nurturing love energy. I know you might be a little excited for that. I don't want no love parts right now, and I need to stop saying stuff like that. But also, I'm scared. I'm so scared. And I only say that as a person who Jupiter is about to touch my 7th house for a year, and I'm going to be blogging about that on the Healthy Wealthy Witch blog, and so I can't wait for
Right.
that channeling. But for this month, what are some messages and downloads that you're already getting for June? Because I am going to leave you guys with Priscilla just one on one because my energy is way too big for it not to get picked up in her reading. But just before that, what kind of downloads have you been getting already about what this energy is ushering in?
This June energy has been feeling the words that I kept hearing was expansive and steady. And there's this steady energy that feels really big. And it's basically this momentum that's growing, and it feels very much in every aspect of a person's life. So the collective just differentiates between where you're just feels at. Like you're going to be noticing that where there was like kind of less going out, wanting to be around people, wanting to like explore new connections, because man, the collective has really been calling it like the aligned tribe. Like we're
Yes,
fucking
yes,
done. We're
yes,
so
yes.
done.
All my
So
friends, I'm
there's
not
just
answering my text messages or my phone for like
yes,
people who have been in my life for 20 years. And it's kind of like, I don't even want to
yes.
have conversations about it. Just let
There's
things
a
dissolve and like new people. I've been just meeting people who are meeting me at where I am right now. And it's just felt so good to be able to like have the conversations about put my tinfoil hat on with friends now and that kind of thing. So we are, and that goes into that
Gemini.
Sagittarius, yeah, Gemini and the Gemini and Uranus, that's very much so the collective energy that we're going to
Yes,
be in for a while. But this Sagittarius full moon right now too is really all about our community and our new tribes and all that good stuff. So yes, it's
yes,
totally
a
on par
hundred
and message.
percent.
But go ahead.
100%. So, and then another download that I'm also feeling towards the energy of June is business and purpose.
Mm,
Business purpose and what you actually want. Like the past few weeks, it feels like we've been really called to get zoned in on
mhm.
what we want our realities to really look like. And
Right.
if you are aligning to that, you're also realizing like, okay, I have to change some shit up. So
Yes.
there's like people shifting up like what they're doing, how they're doing it, and
Yes.
it's being expanded. It's almost like the moment they do this one shift, everything starts to change.
Girl, that's
So
been the
June
whole that's
is feeling like very much not just like
are we reaping the
this
benefits of
hustle,
are we
it's
reaping the
just
benefits of that shift that we've been seeing? That's is
a
that what
hundred
June?
percent. A
Okay.
100%. It's like now you're actually, this is like the past few months have been like the Eight of Pentacles. And now you're actually going to
Yeah.
start to see that Nine of Pentacle like energy. You're going to start to actually see that Ten of Pentacles actually flowing in. And like this is also like if you've already been seeing like, wow,
Yes.
that's interesting. So this is just a message for any of my little tarot card readers and
Yeah.
people that like to shuffle for themselves. If you've been seeing the Eight of Pentacles coming out a lot and the Ten of Pentacles, this is really that shift. This is like
Oh,
you planting what you did, and now you're going to actually start to see it come out and like your legacy being shown more. So
yes.
this is us gearing into July 100%. 100%.
I love it because that energy for July. We'll talk more about it, but I'm so excited for it. For me, it's I'm in a very like tipping point kind of time, which is why my fake collar keeps tipping off my neck. But I
Girl,
broke
you
the
still
button like
good.
midway through, and like so, if you guys see me playing with my fake collar, just know y'all know the aesthetic. Y'all know it.
You
So
good.
it's just gonna, you know what,
There you
you
go.
know.
Bam.
But so for the rest of this, but yeah, I'm so excited. I had a couple. I know that I cannot control what you ask of the collective. I know I cannot, but I just wanted to see. I wanted to invite Spirit to maybe answer some questions. And one of them is like, what are some collective truths that are being illuminated by the full moon that's happening right now in Sagittarius? We already discussed that a little bit. And then how can we best navigate the duality of Gemini's new beginnings that are happening in the middle of the
Mm,
month for everybody? And then the last thing is what heart-centered healing is Venus and Cancer is calling, what is that calling for us, for the collective and all of us? And I would love it if you could pull I love that I'm not gonna know what any of this is. So I get excited about it when everyone else
yes.
does. But I would love it if you could pull one card for the collective just so we can know just how to prepare for this month, what energy is coming in for us, and also how can we alchemize and make everything work in our favor. Because that's all
Yes.
what we're all about here is like um I just want to say really quickly before we go into Priscilla's channeling, of course, because I have to. At the end of this week, my second book, the Manifest 22 Transit Guidebook, drops, and it is all about helping you work with you, find your energy, find your path, and work with the energy that's incoming for all of us. So I just love that we're doing this, and you can check Priscilla out every month here on the first of the month. This is going to be our first
Yes.
one for June. So excited for July. So excited. So excited.
Excited.
So yeah, I'm super excited. If I would love it if we could get some of those answers back from Spirit, but I understand how this works. It's gonna tell us what we need to know. And I'm just so excited for this journey we're on together.
Excited too.
Everybody, please come back and check out Priscilla every month. For
Yes.
Pryscilla Tapped In on the Healthy Wealthy Witch blog. And I will leave you guys to it. I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey collective, it's Priscilla here with Tapped In, and here we are about to tap in for the month of June. And let me tell you, whew, I had to change and everything. I'm sure you guys saw a different energy, but no, the June energy is sassy. It is flirty. It is that Gemini energy is screaming. So let's tap in, okay? Let's play some Florida water just to cleanse the energy. Let me say my declare and decree, and we're going to tap in. All right, guys. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source, for being with us, protecting us, and guiding us in this reading. Thank you for choosing me to be a channel to deliver a clear, precise, and accurate message for the collective. Tap me into the collective for the month of June. Give me the highest divine messages for the highest energy for each and every one of them to know exactly how, what, and where, when, and what to do through this month and what to expect with this energy. Ashe, thank you, Spirit. Tap me in. I also call in my divine spirit team. I also call in Archangel Michael to come through and protect this reading. Do not allow any low vibrating energies or entities to interfere. Ashlee. Whew. All right, first things first, the energy is feeling extremely fiery, but this is also feeling steady, and in the same sense, I am getting such an Empress energy. So to all my divine feminines, stand up, because this is like a big time for you as well. So this energy is screaming opulence. Actually, this is a leveling up within how you are feeling, how you are addressing matters in your life when it comes to your family, when it comes to your career and business, when it comes to your alone time. I'm hearing that literally this June is highlighting self-love and like self-care, and everybody is like thinking of ways to make it even better for themselves. So I'm seeing literally appointments being booked. I'm seeing appointments being booked for massages, stretches. Your nails are getting done by better people. You are elevating your energy. The collective is truly bringing in a higher energy for June. I am also hearing that if you are into any kind of financial institutions, I'm hearing, if you're into stocks, if you're into anything financial and business wise, this is a good time that you are going to see what you had already planted seeds for grow. So this is like you really finally getting this moment where something just skyrockets. I'm seeing by the middle of June, things are really moving in a very fast pace, but steady pace when it comes to financial increase. Confirmation. Spirit is saying your throat chakra is also opening up. The collective is really standing up. I'm also getting high Leo energy. I am a Leo, but no, this feels like the collective is going to be feeling very empowered, very enlightened, very much feeling like they can see what is true. So there is many aspects to what June is bringing into light for different parts of the collective. Okay, I'm also seeing a wave of the collective that is transitioning into a move. Okay, so in the month of June, I am seeing some sort of solidification towards this, because you've been dreaming, seeing what you really want in your life. Things no longer make sense for you where you are, like you're content, but there's this energy of there should be more. And there should be more also when it comes to heart fulfillment. So I'm also seeing this is like coming through in such a nice wave, how this is intertwining towards the end of the month. So during the middle of the month, there is some sort of solidification towards movement, moving, travel. Okay, so if you're not planning on moving somewhere fully, then you're planning to travel there and explore. But I'm seeing big moves, big shifts. This is also highlighting what sets your heart on fire, not only like just money wise, like what's going to bring you in financial independence, but this is also what's going to bring you happiness. Something also in regards to where I'm seeing this old cycle of about 7, wow, I'm hearing very clearly 7 years of a cycle that is closing out, that no longer is aligned with this collective, and where this new energy that's coming in for June is something more of like finally. There's this finally energy coming through where you're really pushing through, where you're now seeing like the light that always was going to be at the end of the tunnel, but you might have not seen it back a few months ago, and maybe even for quite some time, years. And so this is looking like June is really shifting. It is really shifting every energy around the collective, especially Spirit is being very clear. There's this there's always going to be sides and a duality to the energies that are flowing through, and people need to also understand that there is also, on a macro scale of the collective, there is parts of like the masses. I'm seeing like on a very mass scale being shown to me that is like there is so much also going outside of you, that don't get too caught up in the noise, okay? Because there is about to be even more noise that there was just like a little while ago. There's something about, like, I keep hearing some sort of like explosion, some sort of, I keep seeing, so there is something that is gonna happen mass wise, that Spirit is showing me that even though things go high, right, which really are making people go low, this is going to be the time where the collective is really going to be, the spotlight is going to be on you to go higher and to really shine light on what truth is, what alignment is, and what it really means, what peace is, because there is some sort of peace that is flowing through in June. So even though on a macro scale, on a mass level, there's going to be a shakeup. I'm seeing Mars energy as well. I don't know where Mars is gonna be going on in June, but I'm seeing the energy of Mars coming through. So, you know, that always can symbolize a lot deeper energies. I'm feeling very strong, heavy Mars energies going on in June. Things might come to a head on a macro mass scale, and while we keep the frequency high in our collective energy, then that energy also, you know, will come back down. So there's this, it's this keep your cool while shit gets crazy. Spirit is also showing that people are gonna be knocking at the door. So there's this energy of like towards this, like, I don't know, there feels like there's this energy of like the past, right, is coming around, and Spirit is showing me like just continue to really understand that not everything needs a response and not everything needs to be revisited. And it has nothing to do with closure. It has more to do with growth. And it has more to do with understanding where you're at. So I'm seeing in the month of June, there's this like enlightenment. The moon, this enlightenment energy of an illusion, right? So the sun really shines light on like what is there. The moon is going to show you also like the illusions, the things you're not seeing clearly. And what Spirit is also showing is that what's being illuminated through this time period is who really is aligned for you and who is not. And like in a way that you already seen it, but now you're actually like putting it into place, and where you just are growing from this situation. There is this energy where you've been healing, so the collective has been healing also as they've been growing. So this June is like almost like it's funny because it feels like graduation, because I'm hearing that old school song, they played it in my graduation. Oh my gosh, it's this old school song, and she's like, and as we go on. So listen, this is like a time where you're moving on. You're moving on, and you already moved on, and now June is bringing in the fruits, right? You're also getting prepared for bigger and better things, okay? So understand that June is going to feel fiery as well as air. So it's gonna feel very floaty, very flirty. And when it comes to love also is being highlighted. You will be feeling this sense of an emotional energy where if you finally cut ties from people that were no longer serving you in a relationship or a friendship, understand that like the period of time that you went through where you might have been alone, Okay, because I'm seeing maybe even alone time, or if you were with somebody that made you feel alone and you're no longer together, you're going to be truly encountering what love is. And this feels like on a very vibrational level. So if you have not had a good friend, a loyal friend, loyalty is coming to you. Divine is really setting the right players in play for your life right now. So the collective has really gone through some heavy lessons over the years and over the past months, and finally clearing them out. And so with that, here comes now what is for you. And so Spirit is really bringing in loyalty. Loyalty keeps standing out as well, but also this energy of where this understanding of a higher purpose. Okay, so you're also being aligned to people that are part of your purpose. So this collective through the month of June, understand that the current is going to feel warm fast, and like you're gonna be going through this like sped up energy, but understand it also feels very steady. It does not feel like this is going to get put out. So understand that maybe in the past you might have felt like you would go through these moments where you were going, and then your light would get put out. No, not anymore. You've already grown past that. You've already gotten past that. And now shit is changing. Things are shifting. And it's happening. And this is part of, like, the manifestation already happened. And now the fruition is really what's coming in. Spirit is showing. So now it's time to reap what you've been sowing. And those energies that have not, well, they just got to lay in the bed that they made. Ashe. Spirit is letting me know we can sign off there. I love you guys so much. This was amazing. And I wish you so much love, grace, abundance, prosperity, and most of all, the highest divine energy. Okay? And never forget, wealth is a frequency. Okay, so stay on that energy. Yeah, June is spicy. So, you know, do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you happy. And understand that you did learn the lessons you needed to learn, and you are ready to receive what you know that you truly deserve. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you in July. And that is Leo season and Cancer season. Ooh, my two big signs. All right, guys, love you so much. Mwah.